What's up guys, this is Peter from Reviews on Anything, and today we're having a look at a knife sharpener. More specifically the Classic Knife Sharpener by Vulkanus. Now the company is named Vulkanus, so all jokes aside, this is their classic offering. They also have a professional offering which is exactly the same, but it has a metal finish where this is plastic. Now, if you spend a lot of time in the kitchen like I do, you probably have at least decent quality knives. Now, no matter how good your knives are, at some point they'll become blunt, they'll get little damages on them, and you need to either sharpen or hone your knife. Now this is always a bit of a tricky affair, because you can either get an expensive machine to do it, when that actually makes you worry all the time that you're doing it wrong or right. You can get one of those sort of long sticks to sort of quickly sharpen it, but that's only a temporary fix. And whatever you do, you're always worried that you're damaging your knife, especially when you have expensive knives. Obviously you don't want to do that. Not to mention that if you damage your knife yourself by using a wrong tool or using the tool wrongly, you're probably not going to get any warranty from your knife manufacturer. That's where this comes in. This is sort of a foolproof solution to sharpen or hone or even polish your knives, your blades obviously. Now the device itself couldn't be simpler. It's pretty heavy actually. It stands like this. There's two spring-loaded parts on the back that split, and these things over here are actually the sharpening stones that sharpen your knife. On the front there's nothing much to see except that this is the part where it moves, and this is where your knife sort of sticks through. The bottom is actually interesting because it gives you this way around. It gives you very simple instructions on how to use this device, which is very nice because you don't want to dig through a whole manual in order to find out how to use it. And they actually have a few videos on their website as well that are all under a minute that explains and show how to do it. Now, just for demonstration purposes, we have a knife. This is a big standard kitchen knife. And just to show you how it works, gotta do it a bit like this to make it look well on camera. In essence, what you do is you stick it through, and depending on what you want to do with it, you tilt or you sort of pitch the knife into an angle. You can either do it like so, or horizontal, depending on what you're doing with the knife. Let me get my notes here. If you want to sharpen it, you actually pull the knife up. If you want to hone it, you pull the knife down. And if you want to polish it, you keep it horizontal. So there you go. But again, look up the website. I'll mention it in the end credits, and you can see for yourself. Now, whatever you want to do, the basic movement is pushing it through in the slot, making sure it's on the sharpening stones, and just pull it through. Show you that again. That's it. Couldn't be simpler. It works for any kind of knife really, as long as it's long enough. Obviously you can see that the width of the device itself sort of requires you to have a knife that's at least, I'd say that it's 6 or 7 centimeters long in order to take full advantage and sharpen the whole knife, because the sharpening part is here in the back. So you have at least, I'd say 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 centimeters of blade that you're not really sharpening. So the first part of the knife is not being sharpened simply because you can't reach that part through the device. Now it works for any kind of smooth blade, like I said, as long as it's long enough, which is nice. And it also works with serrated knives, like bread knives for example. It's the same movement there, but you sort of tilt it at an angle to the left, and then you pull it through without too much pressure. And that's how you sharpen a serrated knife. So really it works for all kinds of knives that you have laying around, but it works especially well with bigger and longer kind of blades that can sort of travel the whole way through the device. Now there's actually not much to not like about it. This is really my kind of device. It's simple. It does the job very well. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. and it's long lasting. I mean, the quality is solid. This is, like I said before, it's quite heavy, which is something you really want when you're handling sharp knives, obviously. It has simple instructions, which is nice, and you know, it works. It's very foolproof. There's only really one thing you can do with it, so you know, there's no worries about messing up your knives or doing anything wrong. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. Now you can maybe see on camera that there's a few little damages up here. It's hard to see maybe, but that's obviously not because you're putting the knife in between and you're not always doing it super straight, so you know, you cut into the sides a bit. I've had this for, I don't know, at least half a year, and you know, small dents and dints, all is well, and it doesn't seem like it's going to fall apart anytime soon. I'm not sure about the longevity about the sharpening stones. It doesn't really say anything about that on the website either, but I suppose that it's, you know, that's a long-term test. We'll have to do someday, so I might revisit this in a year or so. But until then, this is about 60 bucks to pick it up. If you want the professional version, it's 100. I know at first glance I wouldn't really bother with that because it's exactly the same, just made out of metal. You know, makes no difference to me except that it's silver rather than black. So yeah, that was the Vulkanus Knife Sharpener. Great device, definitely recommendable. This was Peter from Reviews on Anything. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers!